Good morning to anybody who's watching. Wanted to make this quick video this morning. I'm not somebody who makes videos on a regular basis. It's not a career that I'm trying to get a huge YouTube channel or anything like that. So you don't see videos from me very often. I only make them when I think that there's something pertinent or interesting or teachable in a video. So that's why you don't see too many come through. But I wanted to make this one this morning because something very fascinating happened that I didn't know could happen. And I've been gardening for a really long time now. So let me just get to it. I was out here this morning taking care of the chickens, doing my normal everyday morning chores. And I noticed it yesterday. And I thought, oh, that's interesting. That's weird. I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'll have to pull that up because it's not going to make it through, the winter anyway. But I thought it was interesting. So this morning when I was out here taking care of the chickens and feeding them and all that good stuff, I bent down to look at it and I pulled it out and oh my gosh. So I want to show people this because I didn't know it could be done this way. So I bet there's a lot of people that in the gardening communities that maybe didn't know it either. Maybe you did. Maybe I'm stupid. I don't know. But I want to share it. I had to recreate the scene, so I put it back where I found it so that I could show you this. And typically when I clean out my garden, I pull up all of the spent plants, usually by the roots, and I throw them in the wheelbarrow and I come in and I throw them out in the chicken run. And I let them dig around at the roots and eat the leaves, and it's just something that I do. Even the weeds, I just take them all out of the garden, throw them into the chickens first. Let them do whatever they're going to do with them. And then a lot of times, like the big stalks and stuff, I'll go around and I'll clean up out of the run and throw those in the compost pile. So anyway, recently I was out here, probably a month ago, I was out here and I was spreading some new mulch. I don't know if you guys can kind of see it here. Let me get my finger out here so you can see it. I was spreading new mulch along the front of the run and over here along the front of the chicken coop. And I do that just kind of for weed control, keep everything kind of under control. The wood chips kind of just make it a little nicer for me, so that if I am out here in my flip-flops and not my barn boots, my feet aren't getting all wet usually. It's really a convenience more for me than anything else. But I was out here and look what I noticed. I'm going to pan in really close. Let me get down here where you can all see. I noticed a couple of broccoli plants had sprouted out of the mulch. And I'm like, that's weird because I have a really hard time saving broccoli seed. It's not an easy seed. You need a long enough season from the time that they grow up, produce their fruit, and go to seed, and then that seed has to dry out before you can harvest it, and mine never seems to dry out before winter hits, so I never get to harvest the seed. So I thought it was really weird that these guys were popping up, and I'm like, I didn't put any seeds there. I normally don't even put broccoli stalk. I don't do anything out here that would lead me to believe that I would have broccoli just coming up organically on its own. These are completely volunteer plants, and I'm like, that's weird. So I said, well, you know what? I'm just going to pluck them out of the mulch and I'm going to throw them into the chickens, because chickens love the broccoli leaves. So I'm like, I'll just throw them into the chickens. And I did this. So I'm going to do what I did earlier just so you guys can see. I had pulled on the leaf, and when it finally gave way and pulled up, this is what I found. I did not know that could happen. This is a spent broccoli plant that I had pulled out of the garden, and I had thrown it in to the chickens. And obviously when I was cleaning them all out, I must have dropped one out here and covered it with mulch when I was doing the cleanup about a month ago. And I'll be darned, this thing, you can see the old root right there, it's sprouting new plants from the base of the stem. I did not know that broccoli would germinate that way. I didn't know that you could do it that way. There's a lot of other plants like lettuce. I can get to do it. Celery. Celery is very common that you do that with. I've never seen a video or read anything that said grow your broccoli plants from your old stems. Now this probably wouldn't make it through the winter. I'm gonna put it down here for a minute. Actually, you know what? Come with me. Let's take a little walk. We're gonna take this out and I'm gonna put it in the garden. Yes, I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna dig a hole and I'm going to rebury this and we're gonna see. I'm going to do a little experiment and bring you along for the ride. We're gonna see what this thing does. How it overwinters, if it dies off over the winter and doesn't come back, who knows? At this point, I could only guess what Mother Nature's gonna do or not going to do, because I didn't even know that she could do this. And look at these plants. Beautiful. They're stunning. They're healthy, green. I mean, that was nobody taking care of them. I wasn't taking care of them. I didn't even know that they were doing that. So, I mean, it just goes to show the best gardener of all is God the Creator himself. He's like, here, let me show you something. I will teach you something today, Carrie. Something that you didn't know. And I'll be darned if he didn't stun me this morning. What a great morning. I've just got to open up, sorry. There. I had to open up the gate to the garden. So this, I'm going to show you right here. This is where I tend to grow most of my broccoli. Sorry about the sun. This is kind of toward the east, so the sun is coming up, so it can be a little bit blinding. Down there at the end, there's a volunteer sunflower that came up. Probably our neighbors, they feed their birds, and I'm guessing that one of the birds decided that that's where they were going to deposit a sunflower to grow this year. I let things come up like that. I don't really care. Beans are pretty much done for the year. You can kind of see, I'm going to scan down the bean roll here. They're pretty much done. There's still some that are coming on. So from time to time, I'll grab a couple and just eat them raw. But this is where I keep my broccoli. And you can see there's still some broccoli. Let me scan down there so you can see. There's still some broccoli. It's starting to get to the point where it's starting to flower. So probably not the best to eat now. And then this is, I saved this one because, see, there are all of the bean pods with all the little seeds. And I'm hoping upon hope that I can get it to dry out and turn brown before there's a foot of snow on the ground. And I can actually save the seeds. Every other time I've tried it, hasn't worked. Can't cut these when they're green and let them go brown, like hang them and let them go brown. It hasn't worked for me. The seeds aren't viable. They don't germinate. Everything I've read says, you know, they need to turn brown while they're in the ground. Then you can cut them off and hang them up to further dry, or to store them until the next year when you can use the seeds. But now that I've found this new method, who knows, I might be changing my tactics. So what I am going to do is, how am I going to do this? Because I want to be able to remember where I stuck this one. All right. We're going to go up here, actually, and I'm going to do it right next to our volunteer sunflower. That's what I'm going to do. So I am going to bury this thing back in the mulch up here. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to see if it grows. There it is. I'm going to see if it grows further from this stem, how big it gets. If I think of it, maybe I'll take another video or so everybody else can see what's going on with it. And then I'll try to remember to follow up and let everybody know, is this a new option for me for growing new broccoli plants? We shall see. So just wanted to throw this out there for anybody who didn't know that this is something that can be done to grow new plants from the old stems. Ah, I'm so excited. As a gardener, just things like this, they excite you. So thanks for watching the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. you know, you can subscribe if you want, but honestly, I don't do enough videos to maybe make it worth your while. So I will check out for now, and I'll see you on the next one.